Welcome in another TK Pod week in review of the first CrossFit Open workout of 2025. This is going to be um there's going to be a lot to this. I think the takeaway here outside of the CrossFit thing is I hope that everyone finds something in their life that I or that you care about as much as I care about CrossFit. At least right now in my life. There may come a day where I don't care about well, let me rephrase that. There will come a day when I do not care about the competitive side of CrossFit anymore. And I don't know when that will be. I joked with my wife, which shout out to my wife. I'm going to give a couple thanks here, but shout out to my wife who has to deal with all this and hear me talk about it. And she has no interest at all. She just is, she provides the significant other, I'll listen and act like I care role, and it does a lot for me. I appreciate her. She'll never hear this because she doesn't listen, but she what she does for me just is amazing. I hope you find something that you care about. I will not care about competitive CrossFit for forever. I I think I might care about or participate in or have the methodology of CrossFit in my life forever. I see value there. I don't think that value will ever go away. The competitive side, who knows, right? It's very hard to stay competitively locked in, and we've talked about all of this. But the little outline that I've written for this specific podcast, which is just going to go over the first week of this year's Open, is there's a million things I could talk about, and I looked at the list and I'm like, okay, I have to find a way to shorten this so that people listen and care and get something out of this, and it's not rambling and it gets to the point and all this stuff. So this 2-minute intro is to say that I'm already failing at that, but I really hope that you guys find something that you care about as much and you nerd out on the details as much as I do about this stuff, because the passion that I feel and the fun, the enjoyment, the anticipation of me looking forward to this week's open workout, which we'll talk a little bit about preview. Um, this is coming out a day late. Long story short, daughter was home from daycare, wife was home from school. We had like a blizzard in Iowa. Those of you who are here know. So had a complete family stay home day, just completely didn't do any work on Wednesday, the 5th. So it's coming out on Thursday, the 6th. All good. Still getting the weekly episode out. No big deal. Um, we're gonna try and find a way to get this across. I hope you guys find your thing. Uh Last week, week one, we previewed it. And I'll zoom out to the macro that we talked about, where I was like, you know what, the quarterfinals have been cut down. I don't know what my competitive. We just talked about this last week. Like, I just talked about how my competitive focus within the sport of CrossFit is probably gonna ride on the outside of the actual corporate side of things and the actual official CrossFit Games season, just because anymore to do this, you have to be super, super elite. If you want to make it to the next stage, just out of the first stage, right? There's three of them. Um, anymore, you basically have to be a professional CrossFitter, or you have to be sponsored, or you are likely coaching in a CrossFit gym where your job is very adjacent to you also being an athlete. It's um for a 30-year-old dad of about to be two who does another thing as his job. For someone like me and many others who are very, very fit, just extremely fit, it's very hard to make it out of the first stage and have any sort of extended opportunity. Um, and then in 1 week, my entire mindset shifts, and I'm like, well, maybe I have a chance, and we'll get to that here in a second. Um, Last week, a literal week ago, right now, I'm sitting in the office. I'm waiting for the announcement. I'm excited, just like every year when the CrossFit Open comes around. I'm excited to test myself. I'm excited to see what's going on. Very cool announcement for the first week. CrossFit Mayhem, who anyone who's familiar in the space or anybody who stumbles across this podcast knows is a staple in the CrossFit world. Rich Froning, the GOAT of CrossFit, um, ends up doing the announcement with a couple other elite pro athletes. 2 on the male side, 1 on the female side, all 3 of which will be at the CrossFit Games this year. So, they're top 30 in the world of men, and the woman is a Haley Adams is a top 30 female. They are pros. They are elite. This is what they do. We got to see them go alongside Rich, the goat, who is still very fit, and um, it was an awesome announcement. First of all, there's a lot of like other side stuff that's going on with CrossFit that this event was very refreshing to see. It felt like old CrossFit, felt like the right sort of vibe, the right message, uh, the right timing, the right setting. Everything was great. Um, the workout gets dropped, and we'll talk about that in a second. And they do the workout, and so naturally, you watch the workout as a person who's trying to be competitive. I try to pick apart, oh, who's going this fast? How many reps per second are they doing? How are they approaching the rounds? How are they strategizing? Where are they breaking it all? All this different stuff. Um, and it was a really fun time. I'm about to do the exact same thing today. I will finish up work this morning. I'll eat lunch. I'll hop on the Peloton, listen to some podcasts, and about the time my Peloton ride ends, it'll be just past 2 o'clock, and so the announcement will have started. I'll get to hop on and watch it right after my active recovery Peloton ride today. The workout that came out is a good one, and that's sort of the base infrastructure of this whole podcast. Um, Again, we've talked about it. The online qualifiers, the CrossFit Open, the general theme is if it's gonna sway bias to one sort of type of athlete, it's going to be those athletes that are very aerobic. They can do a lot of reps that are not necessarily skill reps or heavy reps, but they can just move for a long time. Their oxygen processing capabilities are very good. Long way to say they are aerobic. They're endurance biased athletes. Um, Not to say that the elites, the best aren't going to do well because they are, because the pros are good at everything. But for those that aren't pros and are, they have a weakness or they have a strength that's significant, the the aerobic biased athletes are going to do well in the open because it's such a large, there's 100,000 men competing. When you have a leaderboard with 100,000 people on it, you'd like a lot of reps to be able to differentiate that many people, separate that many people on the leaderboard. You get some spacing. Um, you know, you can't you can't have you either have to have time as your score, or if you're going to do an AMRAP like the first week was, it needs to be in the hundreds of reps range, 200 plus reps. This one was 300 plus for the best. So again, this is the preface of me kind of having the idea like, okay, I'm stepping into an arena where this is not my jam, right? I want it to be heavy. Me personally, I want it to be fast. I want it to be shorter. Everything about the open is like, buddy, this isn't for you. Still very fit, still going to do better than 97, 98% of the competitors in the thing, but to be in the top 99% or the 1%, the 99th percentile, it's going to take a lot. Well, week 1 gets announced and it's burpees, it's dumbbell hang clean and jerks, and then there's a lunge as part of it as well. You can look up Open Workout 25.1 to see the exact details. It was essentially a couplet of burpees and hang dumbbell clean and jerks. If there's one movement that I need to compete with the elites on, it's burpees. I don't know why, but and some of you are probably sitting there going, "That's wild. Like you're not a small athlete. I don't weigh 170." Um, in CrossFit, I am a like right down the middle average to maybe just above average size, right? I'm 5'10 and a half, put like, somewhere between 5'10 and 5'11, and I'm, 205 pounds. For some reason, I'm good at burpees. Okay. Don't know why. So if there's one movement I need, it's that. If there's two movements, it's burpees and hang cleans. I'd prefer a bar, and I'd prefer it to be heavy, but, you know, trickle down the way that fitness works. Hang clean and jerks with a 50-pound dumbbell, single arm, pretty easy for me. I can go for a while. So that's a good workout. Now, the 15-minute time cap, again, I'd rather it be shorter. I'd rather it be a short burst. I'm an explosive athlete. I'm a fast twitch guy. Give me something in that 6 to 8 minute range. It's 15 minutes, okay. We'll see how we do. So, the pros set the score to be, but I'm feeling good. I'm like, well, this isn't bad. This is a good way to start, right? If we're gonna have a chance. The pros go, they set the scores. The best guy who ended up being like a top, 30 score, top 20 or 30 score in the world, um, went for like, top 20. Went for like 331, 331 total reps. He's a smaller, compact guy who's this workout was sort of made for. I knew that that was probably going to be out of reach. That's going to be up at the top, top 20 in the world. Yeah, probably not doing that. Um, the other guy, bigger guy who would prefer machines and not probably burpees as much, he went for 305. Rich Froning, the GOAT, beat him, went for 310. Okay, that's 20, 25 reps less than that top guy. We'll see where that ends up, but that might be closer to something I could do. I don't think I'll reach that, but we'll see. And then you start to analyze it, right? You start to do the math and all the nerdy stuff. We go to bed Thursday night. We're strategizing. We're trying. We are losing sleep because we're thinking about the workout. All the nerdy things. We wake up. We go to the gym. We do the workout, and in conversations back and forth with training buddies, the guys I train with here at the gym, a couple guys that I did these competitions with down in Carolina. You have these text conversations back and forth. You're trying to figure out, hey, what's possible? What could you possibly do? Nick DeMarco, who is sort of my guy that I line up with as far as training and testing myself against, we compare scores every day, all this different stuff. He texts me on Thursday and goes, "You're going to like something like you're gonna ruin this." And I was like, "God damn it!" Because in CrossFit, when a workout's bad for you, it's got something you're not good at. You're like, this is gonna suck because I'm not good at that. When it's a workout that you're good at, or you should be good at, it might be even worse because now that there's nothing stopping you. You just have to go faster, and you have to you're gonna ball out. You're gonna be good at it, so you can do a lot. And the more you do, the more it hurts. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Um, in this specific workout, the rounds increase by 3 until, the clock ran out. So you start with 3 and 3 of each, 6 and 6. There's a lunge in between each round, but 9 and 9, 12 and 12. And in preparation, it was like, okay, I know I can get through the round of 24. I think getting through the round of 27 and 27 would be really, really good. Like how deep can I get basically into the round of 27 and 27? Number wise, total reps on the leaderboard. Again, we're getting in the nitty gritty here. That is on the leaderboard. That was 288, finishing the round of 27s. I do the workout Friday morning and feel pretty good about it. Like I paced it okay. There's a couple things that could have gone better that morning or could have been more ideal, but I did it in the gym by myself, kind of as a class was about to start. Didn't have anybody next to me. Um, didn't have a lot to go off of. And I rep off a 272, which was I got done with the burpees of the 27s and I got something like 14 clean and jerks, right? Feel really good about myself. And granted, you can immediately put your score into the leaderboard if you want, right? Check the leaderboard, which always is like not the best thing to do because scores come in all the way through Monday. So if you put your score in, even if you don't do great, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm top couple hundred in the world right now. By the time Monday rolls around, you're like, oh, I'm 7,816th. That's usually how it works. Well, I checked the leaderboard, and even though that is the case, like my score is sitting at like 60th in the world. I'm like, okay, well, that's not bad. And if you just look at the straight up math, 272 reps is only about 30 behind like those two guys, Rich Froning and Roman Krenikov from the announcement. I'm like, damn, that's kind of close. And I think I can do a little better. When you redo, you can always change something here or there to be a little bit better. You can watch the tape. So I'm like, okay, maybe my potential here is like 280-ish. I might be able to finish the round at 27, get up around 288. That would only be like 15 reps off of, 15, 20 reps off of like some real professionals that do this. Plan was to like probably come in and redo it Monday, like alongside the training buddy Cole that we have here in Des Moines. Saturday, I wake up. The first message I get is from DeMarco, training partner or buddy, former strength coach that does this from Carolina. He had woken up, couldn't fucking think about anything else. He went out to the garage, immediately redid it. Did it Friday, redid it Saturday morning. Got 33 reps better his second attempt. Went from 240 to 273, which means he now has beaten me by 1 rep. I know I'm way better at him in this specific workout, and now I'm pissed. So what do? I end up redoing the workout on Saturday. I was going to train on Saturday anyway. Didn't have a lot of plans or tons of like stuff that I needed or I had programmed for that Saturday. So I'm like, screw it. I'll redo it today. That way, if it goes poorly again or whatever, I can still go in Monday for a third attempt and we can really squeeze the juice out of this lemon. Because again, this year, if you're going to try to make that top 1%, you're probably going to have to redo it. You're going to have to make sure you get everything out of these workouts. I come up with a great plan. Mentally, I was in a great spot and everything lined up. I prefer training. Like I'm talking down to like, it was about 35 degrees out and but it was sunny, no wind. So I had the garage door open. So it was very cool. My body works better when it's cool out, not hot. I do the workout, feeling great. I'm halfway through the workout, feeling great. I get to the part where the first time through on Friday, I was dying. I'm feeling really good. I am checking the clock because I've written down like my timestamps of each round to kind of gauge where I'm at during the second attempt. I'm like 30 seconds ahead, next 45 seconds ahead, a minute ahead. I'm like a minute and a half, 2 minutes ahead. Holy shit, I'm moving. To the point where in the middle of the workout, I'm questioning, like, did I skip around? Go back and watch it. Nope. No, did all the reps. I was able to put the gas down a little bit at the end of this one, like in the final minute ish, and like actually have a push. Everything goes to plan. Your boy bumps out 303 reps, too short of Roman Krenikov, who could have won the CrossFit Games, 7 short of Rich Froning, the GOAT. And I finished and thought, fuck, I think I had 10 or 15 more reps in me. Like if I did that again. Huge confidence booster. And I knew this wasn't going to be short because it's kind of crazy like that happened. This is not a workout that I'm supposed to compete with the best in. I look now, 303, middle of Saturday, not a lot of scores are in. More start to come in. You start to get a little bit better feel of like how many people are able to do this and that. Not a ton of like the known, like socially well known or famous CrossFitters put their scores in early, but a few have, right? And it's like Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, halfway through the weekend, or at least halfway through the submission period. And I'm in like 60th place still because now I've jumped up over all these people. Or like I might have even been like 50th or something stupid, like 50th in the world on a 15-minute aerobic workout, burpees. Like this is lungs. This is you listen to everybody talk about like, oh, let's analyze the first week of the Open. Which box is this checking? Well, this is the aerobic box. This is the capacity box. That's not the box that I compete in. Day goes by, we're on to Sunday. It's like, oh, I'm still in like 70th or 80th place. Sunday night rolls around right before we go to bed. Check it again. I'm like 99th or 101st in the world still. Like a lot of scores come in by Sunday. Monday, you're obviously going to get the influx because nobody wants to put their scores up. Because if everybody puts their scores up, then everybody gets frantic that they fall back on the leaderboard. So then they have to do it again. And it's just like this sort of unwritten culture around it. Long story short, Monday, yeah, I keep sliding all day Monday. You're going to keep sliding, but not by a lot. 119,000 people did this workout. And at the end of the submission period at 7 p.m. on Monday, your boy was still in 310th place. Damn near a top 300 in the world on workout one. The capacity workout, the burpee workout, the 15-minute workout. In a 3-week open, generally you're going to have, and some are speculating that this is the long one, but generally you're going to have like a 20-minute time frame, like a 12 to 15-minute time frame, and like a 7 to 10-minute time frame. So this isn't even the short one. Like we've already knocked out at minimum the middle one, potentially the long one. 310th? Excuse me? Like 122nd in the country? That's not supposed to happen. So I felt really good about that second attempt. After I finished, like I said, I felt like I had more in me. And I even considered for a while, probably up through Sunday afternoon, doing it a third time because I think I could have gotten, I know for a fact I could have gotten 315 reps. I might have been able to push towards 320 plus, which is crazy because that score would have ended up being top 100 in the world, like truly elite of the elite in that workout. Decided not to because I need to be top 1200 to be top 1%. And getting 150 or 200 extra spots on this workout, but having to do it a third time, waste Monday as a training day, you know, throw that wrench into the training week is just not what I wanted to do. So, long story short, what the fuck? This is crazy. Highest I've ever placed in an open workout. Good start. Really good start. Oh, and by the way, there's still handstand push-ups or anything, handstand out there that I'd be really good at. There's still rowing that I'd be really good at. There's still a short time frame domain that I'd be really good at. They could still throw a heavy lift out there, which I would be pretty good at. And I'm saying, this is relative to like the field, relative to getting into that top 1%. So I feel pretty good about that. Like if I'm going to go for 15 minutes, that's the way I want to do it. Um, and this through so now my mind starts to shift. Like, how am I top 300? Am I just like, did I just unlock something in that workout where like I'm actually fitter? I'm actually way fitter than I've been performing at, and mentally I've been holding myself back. And I know that that's the case to some extent because for the longest time I've had this imposter syndrome. This, why me? Why should I be able to get as many reps as some of the pro guys, right? But in one workout, it literally flipped my mindset. Like maybe I'm that good. And I know I'm not the pro level good. Like I know where I stand, but maybe I'm at that next level a lot closer than I thought I was. Maybe I can go a lot harder than I think I can. Maybe I can hurt more than I think. And I proceeded to test that theory in the training week this week over the last 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And training has felt different. I've attacked a couple pieces. I redid an open workout from 2 years ago that I would have gotten like several thousand spots better at. And I had to change my, like, it was like I got confirmation that I can go harder and that I'm much fitter than I've ever been. I am in an insane spot right now. And that's dangerous because now I'm going into week 2, week 3 with a legitimate chance and goal of making the top 1%. Before, like I said, I thought it was pretty out of reach. I'm secure, like I am safely within 1200 after week 1. Usually I get better with multiple weeks because I can stay up at, I can maintain a certain level. Some other people have one good week, fall off, or they do bad the first couple weeks and then have their one good I maintain and usually get better on the leaderboard each week. This sure might be my best week, my best finish of the 3. I certainly am not claiming victory, but there's been a lot of progress made here. There's a real shot that we make semifinals. Hold on a second. Let's state that again. There's a real shot your boy makes semifinals. Now, is it the semifinals of old? No. Has there ever been a year where 1,200 athletes make the regional, sanctional, semifinal, whatever you want to call it, level? I don't think so. This would certainly be the most they've ever taken to the semifinal level. Is it still very impressive for anyone that makes it there? Yes. And it's been a goal of mine for a while. So we're in striking distance. Our mindset has totally shifted. We are chomping at the bit to see what gets announced today. And I mean, as you can hear, I am fully consumed by this right now. This will be all I think about for the next 2 weeks. The confidence boost has been insane. Um, it's a real realization of the work that I've put in. I keep going back and forth with some of the training buddies. Hey, what do you think about this piece? What if this one comes back up? There's rumor of or there's going to be a repeat workout from a previous open. And, at this point, with the couple movements that came out in week 1 and what they usually do programming wise, it's only going to be one of a handful, right? So you're thinking like, oh, what can I do this time around? How much better have I gotten? And my training partners, DeMarco specifically, he like, we're going over it. He's like, dude, you're gonna crush that one. Like you'll murder that. Like you're way better now. You're the fittest. Like the confidence, the hype man uh role that my buddies are taking, like that my wife is taking, they're there for me. They're giving me real like, hey, you can do better. You can actually do really well. You are actually at that level. And it sounds dumb, but when you hear it from other people, you believe it. You start to believe it. And so there's a lot of things, confidence and mental wise, that are coming together right now for me on the competitive CrossFit side of things. And I will put it out there, clip it, that week 2 could come out and be horrible, and I could get like 4,000th in the world, which is still generally like pretty good, but as far as the top 1% gold, not good. And I could be on my ass in a week from now talking to you guys about, well, came out hot and got smacked. But, you look at the results from the Monster Games qualifier that just passed, and I qualified as one of the top RX individuals in that. Not an elite individual, but hey, if I was really trying to qualify for that thing and we weren't having a second kid right around the time that was going to be happening, I probably would have redone a couple of those workouts. Probably could have gotten up into the elite division there. There's a lot of things, the placements at the two competitions we just went and did. Um, just general training numbers of what I can do in the gym right now, what I've been able to put out. There's a lot happening. Um, That's all lining up and all starting to make a little bit more sense, and everything's sort of telling the same story. So, I'm sort of giving myself, or I've been given permission to fly here. I've unlocked some new levels, and I think mentally I'm finally allowing myself to believe that I can be at the top or near it, and I can compete with the big boys. And that's a dangerous thing because mental is so much of this sport. Um, you look at week 2, again, it's going to come out in less than 4 hours. We're looking at 3.5 hours until this next workout's announced. By the time most people listen to this workout or this podcast, the second one will have been announced. There's rumors that the repeat is going to be a thruster pull up one. There's always a thruster pull up workout, it seems. Um, the couple that have been rumored to be it, I think I could do okay. Looking back at the leaderboards from those years that they showed up, trying to place even just top 1,200 in those specifically, I think I'm in the range of. You give yourself a few placements out from that top 1,500, top 2,000. Because I had a great week one, so I can give myself a little room there as a combined score for 3 weeks. I think I'm definitely in the realm of like I can do this. There's going to be an unknown workout. Who knows what comes out? But right now, just trusting in that whole encompassed fitness that I have and my ability to go perform well at any sort of CrossFit event. Um, I'm very excited. And like I said, the goal right now has shifted into I am trying to be a semifinals athlete. That is what I'm doing. Um, I haven't felt this sort of competitive fire in a long time, and I feel competitive fire pretty much all the time. But it's at a level right now where I am motivated. Um, and I'm in attack mode. I'm in attack mode. So all of that rambling to say, like I said, you know, this was never going to be a short podcast. Knew this was going to take forever. 32 minutes of me talking about myself. We came out, we balled top 300 in the world, basically top like 50 in the North America West region, top 120 in the country, um, like third place in the state of Iowa, I think. So it's a good start. It's a good start. We have to understand that was we have to understand that was a workout that was built for me, right? That was my home run. I don't get a lot of home runs. That was a home run for me. It's gonna self-correct here. Something's gonna come out that I'm not good at. We got to manage the storm, keep balling, put forth a great effort, believe in myself, and we're gonna see where we stand after week 2. We will have a much better feeling of so much more will be more clear in 1 week's time. We'll basically know what the last workout will consist of, movement wise, time frame wise. We'll know where we are on the leaderboard after 2 weeks. So after multiple scores have been in, um, and we'll have one more data point as to where I'm at just relative to everybody else. So week 2 is a big week. I'll see you in about 6 or 7 days, and we'll see how things are going. Stay tuned.